He asked me to live together. Not to marry me, but to move in with me to my apartment. I'm 54 years old. My children are already grown, and I raised them alone. At first, I was very happy. I felt like a bride. But then I thought about it and began to doubt. Why do I need this now? He's just over 50, I'm 54. We've been together for over a year. We're in love, but why move in together? He wants to live with me and rent out his apartment. And I'll have to cook, wash, and clean again. Adapt to his lifestyle. They'll be too embarrassed to fart. Why? He understands what's beneficial. I can live alone just fine. Just meeting up, spending quality time together, going on vacation, that's one thing. But taking on new responsibilities is just too much. I want something lighter, not some domestic squabbles. We'll have to discuss how and where to spend the money. I realized I don't want that. I'll probably tell him no. What would you do? What a great plan. Rent out the apartment and give the money to your son. You're a free housekeeper. So he wins twice. And you? Hours spent at the stove in the kitchen, smelly socks. And in the long run, care for the elderly and sick. And not just for free, but at your own expense. Why do you need that? Yes, indeed. Anyone who has lived alone understands the thrill of freedom and complete relaxation at home. That's right, I lived alone for 10 years. My husband found a woman 12 years younger than me. He lived with her for 20 years. 10 years before the divorce, he cheated on me. And 10 years after our divorce. And then he declared, "I'll come back to you. In my old age." Did he seriously think I'd be happy? I felt disgusted just thinking about it, how I'd live with him again. When I was left alone, I didn't yet know that I'd like it. You should feel more comfortable with a man than without him. If his presence is stressful, why waste your life servicing a stranger? Being married is one thing. Living with a man is quite another. In this hustle and bustle of worries, you stop being a woman. You become a workhorse. Now we're talking about older women. When the kids are grown and the husband has abandoned them for some reason. Finally, you can live for yourself in peace and quiet. Right now, I'm lounging in bed with coffee in hand, lazing around, thinking about something. I imagined what I did in the mornings when I was married, and I snuggled even deeper into the blanket. Now I remember what I want, what I used to dream about. Now I will live my own life. Not serve other people's lives, forgetting my name. I have a similar story. I have a good pension and my own house. And he has an apartment that he will rent out and help his son and grandchildren. These old fools think they are valuable in and of themselves, with their old, flabby faces. After my father died, a friend of mine suggested they move in with my mother. He said she was a good cook and a good thrift. He wanted to sell his apartment or rent it out to help his granddaughter. What are these elderly men thinking anyway? That someone would be happy to work for them? When we're young, we have a different opinion of them. We chase after them, torturing ourselves to please them. And why then are we against living with them? My mother died in such slavery at 42. She was very beautiful. She had a perfect figure. She married a second time to a big, fat man. He had a 20-hectare garden. He had greenhouses, pigs, and cows. She had another child with him. She pulled the whole house, the garden, and the farm like a horse. Serving children and serving a man while he was bossing people around at work. His drinking sessions with the same bosses. And he was also cheating on women. The slave would come home late, after all the housework had already been done, and dinner was ready, and then we had to reheat it 5 times to keep him from yelling that it was cold. In their youth, men avoid marriage, fearing the responsibility of raising a family. But in adulthood, they lure women with the promise of marriage. They want to be cared for. They fear loneliness. We women strive to get married young to raise the next generation. And when we've accomplished our task, we want to live our own lives. Go somewhere, travel, take up a hobby. Read books instead of trying to fit in with others. Take a break from everyone else. Statistically, single women live the longest. Draw your own conclusion. A woman doesn't need a man every day. But a man needs a mother to take care of him his entire life. Yes, yes. Live with you and rent out my apartment. Ha, ha. And full board, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Women, keep the other half of your life for yourself. You might even get your health back. I remembered seeing a 52-year-old man's ad on a dating site a few years ago. He wrote, "I'm looking for a housewife for my 2-room apartment who's a good cook, neat, and who sings in an operatic voice while cleaning the apartment." So what does that mean? A housekeeper plus a cook, who does all the grocery shopping and lugs it around on her own back, plus washing his bed linens and clothes. And all this for free? And if your voice isn't suitable for singing while cleaning his apartment in his presence, then you're unworthy of working for free in his apartment. And yet, men consider women materialistic. I don't want to move in with a man either, and I won't. I lie around in the morning as long as I want. Breakfast is light and quick. A boiled egg, for example. I eat slowly. No one needs to serve. I watch videos. No one bothers me. Then I do my skincare routine. Masks, patches, cream. I do my beauty routine. I spend a long time shopping, looking at the products, because I enjoy it. I clean when I feel like it. My place is always clean. Things are in their places. I do my shopping after my walk, when I'm already on my way home. I don't lug heavy bags, as I buy the bare minimum needed per person. In the evening, I cook dinner based on my cravings and appetite. This is important for health. Don't forget about insulin resistance and excess weight. A salad and a piece of fish. It used to be impossible to stick to a diet. And how can I do exercises? First, you're in the way. I say, move away, then, you're blocking the TV. There's no privacy. I recall my marriage experience, and it's not inspiring. It leads to depression. Pots, cooking, shopping, cleaning. Everyone has their own tastes, preferences, moods. The overall daily routine is very different. Don't let him live in your apartment. You won't be able to kick him out. He'll rent out his apartment and say he has nowhere else to live. And you won't see any money from the apartment. At first, you'll treat him like a guest because he's your guest. And then it will continue like this automatically for years. A man deserves a shared life and support in his old age if he stayed in his first marriage. He didn't cheat. He raised children. He didn't run after women, didn't cheat, and didn't abuse. Many women were prepared for this with their first husband. They believed they would live until old age with their first husband, no matter what he was like. But husbands leave, cheat, betray, and don't support their children. They leave for another woman and there's no turning back because the resentment is suffocating. Not only will she have to carry a stranger on her neck, but she will also have to prove to his children that she is not encroaching on their inheritance. In their youth, men want freedom, but in old age they look for servants in the house. So my grandmother, at 58, when widowers started asking her to marry me, said, "Where were you all when I was raising children alone? And now I don't need them. Should I wash their foot wraps? And make a fuss in my own house? Serve them borscht, dishes, and pickles? I want to wear my nightgown all day. I want to cook, I cook, and if I don't want to, I eat cottage cheese and that's it." If you had asked me this question 10 years ago, I would have been foaming at the mouth to prove you wrong. That living with the person you love is the ultimate happiness. But now I completely support you. With age, a woman comes to understand that peace in life is a luxury. Love, feelings, experiences, all of this is wonderful. But a woman who worked like a horse deserves a quiet life, where she doesn't owe anyone anything when she comes home. No cooking, no laundry, no stress. Enough already. Women who've been married for a long time don't want to move in together, almost all of them. They're too tired of responsibilities, housework, and everyday life. Men don't want to work around the house. That's why they look for a thrifty and caring woman. I got divorced at 50. He started chasing women, he was still young, after all. Now I'm 70. That's exactly the thought that scared me when I had suitors like that who proposed living together. Especially in villages, older men try to move in. And if they persuade you to register your marriage, they'll take the whole house. No, no, no. No shared living arrangements. I want to be free from cooking, cleaning, serving. Everything just for myself.